Welcome to Lights in the Night, the show that's exploring the unknown, one light at a time. I'm Russell.
And I'm Max. We're talking UFOs, alien life, and the mysteries of the cosmos.
Is anyone out there? Tonight, we're looking for answers.
Join us, if you dare. The lights are on, and the night is calling.
Lights in the Night. It's time to shine a light on the darkness.
Hello, welcome to another episode of Lights in the Night. I'm Max Duckworth, and I'm joined by Russ Johnson and Dana Sardano. And we have some exciting things to talk about today. There's been a lot going on in the news as far as disclosure, and I want to know what you two have to say about some of the headlines going on.
Well, Dana stays on top of this stuff.
Right to Dana, bam! So I will tell you, one of the things that I have read or seen come online recently that I found to be so the most captivating is Trump declared a week or two ago, a couple weeks ago, that we're going to declassify things. And there's been no declassification that I'm aware of. And the conversation is he was told not to, or there's a fear around it or a resistance around it because there is a large portion of the population that is, it's going to turn upside down their entire belief system and way of being, and there's a fear that it's going to create mass hysteria. Have either of you heard about this?
Well, that's an old story.
This was as recent as this week. But it's an old story that's continued, for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. In 1938, what happened? Orson Welles.
Oh yeah, World.
The radio show.
Yeah.
He did that radio show and everybody panicked.
Yeah.
I mean, he got really bent out of shape.
Yeah.
The police department, the fire department, some committed suicide.
Out of fear.
Because they thought it was real.
Yeah.
And they said, listen, you can't do that anymore.
But they do it in the movies.
I understand, but this is 1938.
Yeah.
He did that show, War of the Worlds, on radio. You remember? And you may not remember the old radio stations, all the radio shows, because you're too young. But anyway, you had the Long Ranger, you had the Fibber McGee and Molly, you had the Invisible Man and all that stuff. I mean, this is like in the 40s.
Yeah.
You listen to radio all the time.
Yeah.
So when you listen to radio in those days, you thought everything was true.
Yeah. Yeah, so it's kind of like watching the news now that you believe everything is true like that.
Superman and all that, they thought it was real,
Yeah.
the Invisible Man, they thought it was real.
Yeah.
So they thought when he came on and did that in 1938, they said, people absolutely thought it was real. Okay, so let's fast forward. And then the CIA decided that they're going to step in. They did a thing called the Robinson Report in 1953. A report. People can punch it up and look and read it. And bottom line, I won't go through all the nuances of it, but it says, if people think that aliens are here or begin to discuss it, throw that disinformation out, tell them they're crazy, so we'll send the men in black after them, all that stuff.
Yeah.
So they said, do not tell the people that aliens are here.
Yeah.
The Robinson Report, official document by the CIA in 1953. Yeah. And then there's another report, and I'll turn it over to you. It's called the implication of peaceful space activities for human affairs. And it was a Brookings Institute did a report in 1961 to give to Congress, and it says the same thing.
Yeah.
Do not tell the people that aliens are here. So there's been that whole disinformation project going on for many, many years now.
Yeah, not just disinformation, but soiling the names of people who are willing to speak out. Yeah. And it's not just about extraterrestrial and their existence here, but there's another layer, because there's so much crossover.
Right.
There's another layer of government and Hollywood, and many of their extraterrestrial origin that they've got a huge stake in protecting.
Right.
So anybody of that club that decides they either don't want to be a part of that club, or they no longer want to be a part of that club, or they want to stand out against that club, and I'm talking about, again, in Hollywood and in the government, they all come together and just try to destroy them.
That's
and so
it.
there's so many people that we have seen in the last 20, 30, 40 years that we look at, like Alex Jones, he's crazy, or Roseanne Barr, she's crazy,
Right.
or so many others, they're crazy. But now I think we're starting to peel that back and go, are they crazy?
Okay, let's talk about Trump then. You brought him up.
Yeah.
You were saying that he not only started the space wars
Yeah.
in December of 2019, right?
Yeah.
Then he made it the official base now is in Huntsville, Alabama.
The Space Force
So-
base.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the one that you said that you drove past, right?
Well, so it was
No.
in Cape Canaveral,
But he changed it.
but I guess it's
He
moving.
recently changed. Do you? Let me ask you a question. Do you think he knows a lot about this stuff?
Trump?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So soon he'll be coming out to announce the fact that they are here.
Yeah. Yeah.
And how do you think people are going to take that one?
So, of course, because our country is split in half, I think half of the people are going to be like, yay, Trump, you're the best, and everything you say is true. And then there's going to be the other half that think that's misinformation.
He's crazy.
He's crazy.
That
He's
old.
crazy, and everybody else involved is crazy. What I was saying when you said the mass hysteria from, since 1938, I'm talking about when there is actual proof, with undeniable proof, that this does exist, because now it's a lot of people talking, right? But undeniable proof, you're going to have a huge portion, not just in the American culture, but in the world, that have very specific and strong religious beliefs that this existence contradicts.
Okay. As an experiment for us, this is playing by ear. Why don't we get a student after you take a break and you interview a student and see what that student says?
Okay.
That'd be a good experiment.
I think so. I do think that most of the younger generations are more inclined to believe because there's, I didn't want to talk about religion, but there's less of religion. They're understanding that the religion isn't going to save them, or the opposite. If they don't do the right thing, they don't see it the same as they did in 50 years ago.
Right.
Even in my generation, we were like, you know what I mean? So the connection. I'm talking about the older generations, people who are tried and true. They're believers.
What made you such a believer?
No, I'm talking about believer in religion.
Oh, right. I'll go ahead.
Yeah.
But in terms of, have you been abducted?
Not in the not in the typical way, but I have a lot of dream encounters.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I have one mushroom encounter too, but we could talk about that.
But you were
another time.
healed too. That's
Yeah.
a great
She was
story.
what?
She was healed by.
Oh, let's
wasn't
talk about
it
that.
Yeah.
a sort of like
Talk
praying
it.
mantis type of?
Yeah.
Am I wrong?
I had a couple experiences. One was in
is so cool.
in a mushroom state. And again, to judge me, don't judge me, but I remember knowing that my sacral chakra, that they were working on my sacral chakra area as a healing, but also in around the 2021, 2022 years, I was going through some real serious medical stuff. And in my dream state, I was being worked on, and they were, I want to say the praying mantis, but that was the feel that I got. They weren't Pleiadian, they weren't Arcturian, they weren't gray. They were bug-like.
They're insectoid.
Yeah, and they were.
That's real.
Yeah,
right,
and they were part of working on me. And you know what's funny? You know how I'm a clown. In my dreams, I remember one of the things that I would always come back remembering. I would always try to make light or make jokes, and because they were, they were more intellectual, very Spock-like.
Sure.
There was no real compassion and no real warmth, so they didn't think I was funny at all. And I remember that was the one thing that I always woke up with, and I'm like, they don't think, and I would always just be like, yuck, yuck, like try to and they were like, no, we don't get it. We don't think you're funny. Let's just doctor you up and go back to Earth.
Okay.
That's great. That's like doctors here.
Yeah.
Sometimes.
Yeah. It's that demeanor but yeah, that's the one thing. And I had a few instances like that.
Wow. So you've been through it then?
A little bit.
You know, a little bit. But do you consider yourself a channel? Do you channel anything? I see you do drawings. That I was
Yeah,
doing.
yeah.
Can you grab a drawing?
You're connected. You're connected.
She got it. She got it. You did this drawing.
Yeah. So that I did probably the 2021, 2022, around there. There's another one that we can't reach that's up there that's similar. And a lot of my stuff, I paint a lot of women. I just an expression of the archetype of woman. And that one, it just came out, and it's clearly of another being.
Right.
Something.
Right.
Yeah, I believe it's Arcturian, but clearly, like I think also it's likely an aspect, because we're not just in this dimension. We're in all these different places concurrently.
Absolutely.
So I believe that maybe that's a self-portrait in some other dimension. But I don't know. I just know that I sat down with the brush and that's what happened.
Wow.
Yeah.
So people around you, they understand you a little bit more, that you are in touch with other levels of, or they just look at you.
Oh, you're talking about my people?
Yeah.
Well, the only people that will even be around me anymore are people that are, understanding my mouth sounds.
Okay.
Yeah, like I couldn't have these conversations at Walmart.
Right.
Well, maybe I could.
What do you think when they, Bashar?
Yeah.
And Elizabeth April,
Yeah.
okay, and others.
Yeah.
They say that they are coming and walk among us so that they will be identified.
Yes.
How do you think people are going to handle that? No, that's going to be
I'm
real
looking at the
good.
clock. Let me tell you something. You remember that chick on the plane a couple years ago? And she was like, "That guy is not real." And she freaked out. And people are like, "Oh, she's crazy." I'm like, "Oh no, she saw something." And around the same time, I had an experience, and I know I talked about it somewhere. I might have talked about it on the show, where I was with my kids and we were looking at puppies, and the women that were there, I felt their mask. Like I felt their, I don't want to say they're evil, but their density. There was something, reptilian or whatever, but there was something that they didn't care for us, our light, and we felt their density. Yeah. And so at that time, do you remember in the news they were talking about demon face syndrome? And do you remember this? This was a couple years ago. Demon face syndrome.
Right.
Remember, they're throwing everything. They're like, here's some COVID, here's some meth gators, here's some, other problems. And now there's demon face syndrome. And if you see faces that look like demons, you have to go and get this medication. It was real brief. I don't think it's stuck. Wow. I don't know if anybody's watching, like, I'm not crazy. This was a thing. I remember seeing pictures they drew with the faces. And in my head, I'm like, the veil is dropping and extraterrestrials, you're starting to see behind the mask.
Okay.
And we say extraterrestrials doesn't just have to be what we're like normally used to. Right. It's anything not of this earth. And so people are starting to see behind the mask. So whoever's in charge that doesn't want this to be out there, I hear myself, I know I sound crazy, but they want to get ahead of it and be like, okay, demon face syndrome is a thing, please look it up. It's a real thing, and so we're going to give you medication for it. And that was happening. And I think that we're seeing more and more of that. Does any of this resonate with you guys? Or
of course.
Okay.
Did you see that incident in the mall?
Oh, in Miami?
Miami Mall. Right, and that was
What is your take on that? Because
Well, here's my take on it.
Do you remember?
Wait, no, what happened?
Tell her what happened.
Basically, I think, again, a year or two ago, there was a huge incident in Miami, in a mall in Miami. There were like 1 billion cop cars, helicopters, and then they were like, oh no, it was just, it was New Year's. It was New Year's a couple of years ago. They were like, no, it was just some kids messing around. But people say they saw extraterrestrials, and it was like a thing. And I saw somewhere, and I don't know the veracity of what I'm about to say, but I saw a thing that the coordinates at that mall I'm right.
Yeah.
Were the same as like the Antarctica coordinates.
Yeah.
And so like they came up through a portal and we're like, whoopsie. There's nothing to see here.
If you reverse the longitude and latitude, it goes right to Antarctica. If you reverse at the mall.
So somebody was like, yeah, but it was like a real, look it up. And didn't like the Men in Black make all the people, because everybody's got cell phones now, all the people that videotaped anything, they confiscated everything. Like there's no footage of what happened at the mall.
Well, I even feel like I missed this completely, so I feel like some headlines get suppressed,
Well,
Big time.
They didn't put it on CBS, NBC,
Right.
ABC.
No, this is all social media, people talking.
Wow.
It was a big deal on social media.
Yeah.
Listen, it's 15 after. Let's take a break. And when we come back, maybe we can get a student and you interview a student who says, I don't think I believe any of that stuff.
All right.
Or they, all right?
All right.
Lights of the Night. We'll be back in just a moment here.
Lights in the Night is brought to you by Super Patch, revolutionizing wellness through cutting-edge neurotech patches that help you feel, move, and live better. Whether you're seeking improved balance, energy, or overall well-being, Super Patch has a solution for you. For more information, call 561-302-2588 or visit us online at ufo.superpatch.com. Take the first step to a better you with Super Patch.
We're back, and the night is getting darker.
The lights are still on, and the truth is waiting. Stick with us.
More mysteries, more lights in the night.
Welcome back to Lights in the Night. We have a student with us named Chloe who we're going to get Dana and Russ to ask a couple questions. So what do we have first?
Well, I was Chloe.
Chloe.
Okay, I got it. But you heard a couple of shows, and what do you think about this whole thing about UFO and aliens and people shapeship?
I do believe that aliens exist, but I think we're too far off in the solar system.
What did she say?
I need you to speak just a little bit louder so we could. Yeah.
She said they're too far off, she thinks, in the solar system.
We're too far off in this.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
So-
There you go.
Well, we're just
Is this
fixing
thing
the
on?
mic. Here we go. Here we go. Yeah, there we go.
So go ahead, honey.
Yeah.
I do believe that aliens logically exist because it's kind of egotistical to believe that we're the only life forms on Earth. I mean, on
In the universe.
universe, and
I do think we're
kind of too far away from the galaxy to actually be able to meet with aliens. But I do think if we have like stronger technology, we could kind of communicate via like radio or something like that.
There's another theory is that they created us and put us on this planet, but this is their planet, especially the Dracos, especially the reptilians. They've been here hundreds of thousands of years, but that's another story.
Well, let me ask you, because that's an interesting perspective, that, you believe they exist, but how can we connect with them because we don't have the technology? But as far as, how the universe is expanding, right? So if we are, say, a newer planet in the expansion, there's got to be planets and existences that are far older than us, correct?
Yes.
So if that's the case, and I'm just trying to think logically here, if that's the case, then if they're more advanced, if they're older, they might have the technology. So we don't have it to find them, but perhaps is it possible that they would have it to find us?
The reason why I said about communication-wise is
Yeah.
because in the universe, we're actually more far away from the galaxy than actually closer.
Okay.
That's the way she
And-
sees it.
In
Yeah.
But it's
in terms of when you go through like really, really old satellites that were
Yeah.
still there and they took pictures, we're like moving
okay.
this
Gotcha.
way.
Gotcha.
But it's a big learning situation.
Yeah.
So there are people who are going to have all kinds of
Perspectives.
perspectives.
Chloe, I'm assuming that the people that you speak to have similar perspectives. We're having these conversations because I think it goes far deeper than the actual logistics of the communication and where we're located, because there's interdimensional stuff, there's so many things. You and your friendship circles, is there an openness to learning and to, like if let's just say our president announced that they're in the White House and they're ready to talk to us, is there a fear there, or is there like, oh, okay, that's the next thing?
I wouldn't believe him.
You wouldn't believe him.
The current president, I would not believe him.
Oh, I got it. Gotcha. Okay.
Speaking of the current president,
Yeah.
I just want to give,
Yeah.
just get switch off on that. Have you heard of John G. Trump? He was an MIT professor.
No?
Okay, that was his uncle,
Okay.
Tesla.
Tesla, yeah.
Tesla died in 1942.
Yeah.
Right, somewhere around in that.
Yeah.
Right, at a hotel in New York.
And then they robbed him.
They took the CIA, FBI, Men in Black came and took everything. Guess who they gave it to?
They gave it to Trump?
John G. Trump.
Why?
Is he related to the president?
This is his uncle, he
Yes,
said.
yes,
Okay.
yes,
Oh, got it.
Because if you go back in his history, he's a brilliant scientist at MIT.
Interesting.
And-
But
and
why
that-
would they give it to him? If they're trying to keep it suppressed, why would they have given it to him?
Because they trusted him to not
Gotcha.
to disclose it to the rest of the world.
Okay.
And when he died, obviously he gave it to Trump. Obviously he gave
Yeah.
it to Trump. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to pass that on.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So all that stuff that Tesla had about free
Yeah.
energy and whatever else he had devised in his mind, he had it all. They grabbed it, gave it to John Trump, and he went through it, and then he said, "Nothing here that you want to see."
You know, as you know, I come from the spiritual perspective,
Right.
and the channeling and all that.
Right.
And I have friends that are very connected, and of course, I'm always asking, I want to talk to this one, I want to talk to that one. So I've talked to some pretty heavy hitters.
okay.
One of them being Elvis, because I had to. But oh yeah, Elvis is really sweet, by the way. Anyway, I digress because I don't sound any less crazy saying that, but.
Do you do
I
readings?
spoke to Tesla. I don't. That's not my jam. I'm more connected to the people who do, and then just kind of pulled this information out of them.
What did Tesla say?
So Tesla said it was free energy. He said free
Okay.
energy. He was very, very clear that this world would be a completely different world
Sure it would.
if his learnings, teachings, his information, whatever, his studies, his work was brought to the public,
Right.
and it is being heavily, heavily guarded so they could stay in,
Yep.
in power.
Greer, Dr.
Yeah.
Greer, Stephen Greer, he has a ton of information about all those things that have been repressed, as he demonstrates in his documentary, The Lost Century.
Yeah.
He goes back 100 years and researches all of this about aliens and whatever, because it goes back to Antarctica, the whole 9 yards. But he put it in that lost. People should watch that, The Lost Century. He goes to T. Brown or whatever his name is, and all those people who had all that stuff. So where would you go in terms of doing any more research on this, besides listening to us?
Well, I mean, you guys are my main research. I rely on you guys because to tell me who to be listening to and because there's so many
keep
news
sending your
sources.
links.
Right. I'm not
okay.
listen. I can tell you I'm not going to like mainstream news sources like CNN or nothing bad about them, but I'm just saying I feel like the big mainstream media sources just have a certain agenda that they have to stick to and people
Yeah.
that they work for, so we can't necessarily rely on what they're saying anymore just because of all the different levels of money and politics going on. It's nobody's fault.
yeah,
And so that's why I think the podcasts, like you've been saying, are so important.
Yeah. So all the people listening to us, they should have their own podcast.
Yeah.
Everybody in the world should go on their podcast. And it can be very lucrative if you know how to monetize it. Like, Billy Carson.
Yeah.
He's monetized his podcast. And I think last year or 2 years ago, he made $900,000 in monetizing that.
Nice.
And Dr. Greer, I think when I checked with him, he had $2.7 million
Wow.
coming in from his podcast.
I want to share something about
Go
Dr.
ahead,
Greer
go
with
ahead,
you
go ahead.
that I think is really important. I just saw this clip as recently as this week. He was on Alex Jones's show, and Alex Jones has a reputation over the years for being a kook, and you're starting to see, oh, Alex Jones was right. Oh, Alex Jones was right. Oh, he was right. And the more the veil drops, the more these kooks, like I mentioned earlier, are right. But what Greer was saying on this show is that he was concerned that that the people that are surrounded Trump, he called them the Rat Pack, that are surrounding Trump may be giving him misinformation, and so Trump is less likely to bring certain things to the public. I was talking about the religious fear, but it was just their, who's whispering in his ear. And Greer even went as far as writing the beginnings of a speech for Trump based on his understanding, Greer's understanding of what's going on. And Greer understands what's going on and was writing the speech for Trump. And he's like, Trump's in this place where he's got two choices. And he could either do what I would consider the right thing, what Greer would consider the right thing, or he can just focus on the things that are of the earthly plane that don't matter right now, that are creating more destruction. And I have my own opinions on that as well. But Greer is concerned because he's like, it can make a sharp left turn if Trump listens to the wrong people.
I see. Okay.
So I have a question for Chloe and you guys. So you believe that the aliens are already here, like that's a fact, essentially. So, but not people are skeptical and they want.
Okay, but let's see you. You don't quite believe that walking around.
Well, I'm not saying I don't believe. I just,
You don't know.
I want to know what it would take for, because Chloe said if
let's take you.
Well, I mean, I don't not believe, but I just there's.
You haven't seen any proof. You haven't done any research.
There's no evidence.
No, so I'm listening. There's a lot of proof, like regarding all the different research I've been doing in the past couple of weeks, just since I've been working with you on the show. So there is proof, but I kind of want to maybe see and talk to an alien, or I want to know maybe what Chloe would say, because she was saying about how if the president said this is a real thing, she wouldn't believe it.
Yeah,
but I want to know, and maybe
No,
from the
it's
audience,
specifically
what it would
just
take.
the current president. Because Obama said that aliens do exist, but he hasn't seen one.
Oh, but we were just that was something we were going to bring up too about him.
What about him?
Well, how about
he
it's
said
gotta be another time.
he gave the same answer as I did on how and I saw this before
Okay, let me do this. We got a minute. Next week we want to talk about what? Take a minute.
I think that we should talk about what you were telling us about Obama and how you said that he had been. No, you don't want to go there? We're not ready?
Yeah.
Yeah. So we're going to talk about that.
Yeah, okay.
Stay tuned.
Yeah. A guy, people can do some homework between now and then, and Andrew Basago, who says that he was on the moon decades ago with Obama, but no, Obama was
on the moon or in the moon?
On the moon.
Okay. Is
That's
there
what he
anybody hanging out in the moon?
It's not like I mean, I'm sorry. I apologize. I didn't mean to moon. I'm sorry. I apologize. On Mars.
Mars. Okay.
He said Mars. If they punch it up, and we'll talk about that. But Andrew Basago, because if you talk about Linda Moulton Howe, and Laura Eisenhower, they all know this guy.
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah, go right ahead.
This whole thing with Mars, because I've seen some stuff about people, not about previous civilizations on Mars, but about them being there now doing stuff.
Right.
And the obvious question, and this is to Chloe's point, the obvious question would be like, well, how would they get there? We don't have the technology.
Well,
but there's there is technology that we're not familiar with that would,
It's called the Secret Space Force. In 1947,
it's got notes.
Truman put together called the Majestic 12. People need to do the homework. Yeah. He put that together, and he gave them the Roswell stuff and all the other stuff that he had about aliens and crash ship, So they've been handling this a long time.
Yes.
So there's a secret dark entity called the Secret Space Force program, if you will. They handle all of that. So we will talk about that.
Yeah, let's definitely talk about that. And I think I just sent you a video, or I was going to, but I didn't want to bombard you, talking about the Majestic 12.
Yeah,
I
good.
think I did. I
Good.
meant to. If I didn't, I will. But
30 seconds and wrapping up.
So I guess we can come back to this, but my biggest question is, when are we going to have an alien on our show, or a light being, whatever they want to be called?
You might have it any day, but you wouldn't know it because they shapeshift. They can look like human beings, and they are walking around among us all the time. Go ahead.
Thank
10
you for
seconds.
joining us on another episode of Lights in the Night. We'll
Chloe,
see you
thank
next week, and thank you, Chloe, for joining us. And
It goes on and on.
it sure does.
The lights are fading, but the mystery remains.
Join us next time on Lights in the Night. Same time, same darkness.
Until then, keep looking up.
The night is watching.
Lights in the night.